married to show that they are well-to-do. They have climbed the social ladder. They are of upper middle class, and they can afford the pictures and displays here in this room. The rear parlor, it was a bedroom before the second story was put on the home. Once that second story is completed, Mary moves the bedroom upstairs and turns that room into an office and study for her husband. That way he can bring clients home, business associates, and talk to them in that room and have some privacy. Now, what's important about these two rooms is what occurred on May 19th of 1860. That's when the Republican delegation came down from Chicago and offered Mr. Lincoln the nomination for the presidency. He said, "Let me think about it," and took 4 days to decide. On the fourth day, he sent them a formal letter saying, "Yes, I accept the nomination." And so from nomination to the presidency, his journey starts in this room. These two rooms here hold the most original items within the home, which are all of the black upholstered furniture. In the front room, the marble top table and the tiered shelf underneath the 3 watercolors. In the rear parlor are 3 candelabras on the mantle and the bookcase. Are there any questions? We're going to move through the dining room, take a look in there, and the table and chairs belong to the Lincolns.
Well, you heard the tour guide. We're gonna go in the dining.
Answer your question. I think that's fake.
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah. Really just.
Because I think it would be moldy by now.
I think my brother's. Well, I know my brother's good. I think. This is his house. This is his dining room.
Okay, come over here.
Also, I think this is somewhere you can hang out. Maybe his hangout place.
We'll come all the way down to the end here, make 2 lines in this room, shorter people in the front, taller people in the back. Except for me, I get to stay in the back.
Okay. So this is where he probably
I
hangs
remember one
out.
time saying that, and it was all tall people, well, all people taller than me. And they all just looked at me, and I'm like, yeah.
Deal.
Please don't lean on the wall.
Well, this is a really
We'll keep
This
squeezing
is a
on
really-
in, 2 lines.
look at the
so that
picture.
everyone
It's
fits
really
in.
weird, kind of.
Did they plan the green part of that? Because it was red and then it turned green.
Well, at the time period, it's harmony through contrast, so you have different things.
Right.
And we went by pictures of this room that were drawings to best determine what was on the walls at the time.
Really old. I don't know what that is.
Now, this is the informal side of the home. The children would come in here and, string their toys all over the floor in here. Playing here on snowy, rainy, and cold days. Now, they're allowed in here, but do you think they would be allowed in the other 2 rooms we were just in?
No.
You're right, unless they were on their best behavior and dressed for the occasion. The formal rooms are rooms for the most expensive and exquisite items, and Mary wants to protect those. The boys could come in here and have a grand old time spending quality time with their families.
It's called a sitting
Mr. Lincoln
room.
would get down on the floor with them and wrestle with them. But in 1860, he buys them a special
Abraham
piece
Lincoln
of
wrestles.
equipment, which sits upon the table underneath the horsehead picture. It is a stereoscope. Now, does everyone know what a Viewmaster is?
I do.
The red binoculars with the disc that goes on top and you click the side. That is the grandfather to that piece. It holds 1 picture at a time in 3D that you view, and the Lincolns are using it as an educational piece as well as an entertainment one. So they can show the boys different places and things they may not see in their lifetimes. My tongue is moving faster than my brain. Now, it cost about $25 at the time it was purchased, which is the equivalent of a 50-inch flat screen TV today, only on the Logan channel. Across the room, we have Mary's sewing table. Underneath her gold-rimmed mirror. And Mary liked to sew and make things for her family as presents. We have an example of her work, which is the cream-colored white piece of fabric. It is a sleeping cap she made as a present for one of the hired girls that lived upstairs at one point in time. Now, on the night of the election, she could have been sitting there working on a small piece when her husband burst through the door and said, "Mary, we have won." In that moment, she remembers, as a little girl, when her neighbor, Henry Clay, who was a senator of Kentucky, was running for president, one of the many times that he ran for president. And she told him one day she was going to be first lady. And so, in that moment, she realizes her childhood dreams are coming true. Are there any questions?
No, I know it's one of the, what is it, the thing on the table again?
The stereoscope?
Yeah, I know what that is, because I watch American Dad.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't watch
Why
it.
is the fireplace so shallow?
When renters and the custodians lived here, they did change some things, and they converted it to a gas fireplace. Instead of changing that back, we just left it, but it would have been a lot deeper. Are there any other questions? We're gonna get ready to go up the stairs. They are quite steep, so do be careful.
Going up the
We
stairs,
have provided a
guys.
safety rail. It is also the original rail to the home that Abraham, Mary, and the boys used.
That's my mom.
And so we're touching an artifact as we walk up the stairs, and it is the only one allowed to be touched in the home. When we get to the top, take a left and look into the guest room, and then join me in Mr. Lincoln's bedroom.
I'm gonna go in Mr. Lincoln's bedroom. I hate these spiral stairs. I hate these. This is a room, I guess. Just show you. It's already somebody's room. Probably the guest. Another sewing place. I guess this was Lincoln's room. This is Lincoln's bedroom. There's his
Careful to
bed.
stay on the blue.
Oh,
This was the guest room.
Yeah, guest room's across the hall there,
this is Lincoln's bed.
and then we will reconvene in this room here.
This is this was these old dust. Also, I'm making. This is
So this is
it's
Mr.
big.
Is that your
This is Mr. Lincoln's room.
Yeah, this was really big closet.
So Mary didn't sleep in here, or did she?
I'll explain that when everyone's in.
Oh, okay.
Come over here, Jennifer.
I'm trying to take. This is also his
Earlier, we had
Probably.
a group of school kids come through, and one of the other rangers was in there pointing at stuff, and the alarm went off. And she goes, "Everybody make sure they're on the blue." And I was standing there just shaking my head, and I said, "Tacey, that was you." She pointed too far, and it broke the laser and made the alarm go. I was just like, "That's me. Oops."
This is his bed. Really nice bedroom.
It is a little warm. We'll keep squeezing on in so that everyone fits in. Gotta remember to stay on the blue only.
This is his rugs. House one mirror. He has some paintings there.
Now,
too.
the bed you viewed in the guest room, that is the only original Lincoln-owned bed left in the home. That is because when they leave for Washington, they not only rent out the house, but they hold a yard sale, selling a lot of their furniture. The first renters, the Tiltons, bought a lot of that furniture and kept it here while they lived here, but in 1869, they have to transfer to Chicago. What happens in Chicago in 1871? Their house burns down and any furniture that was in their possession is gone to time, which is why the bed before you is an antique four-poster bed, but it is as close to Mr. Lincoln's bed as possible without him actually sleeping in it. Does anyone think he might have fit in this bed?
No.
Nobody?
No way. He's 6'4".
Yes, he is. And this bed is 6 feet 11 inches long. There's an optical illusion in this room caused by the 12-foot ceilings and the 7-foot posters, making the bed appear shorter than what it really is. He did not have a custom-made bed. This is the same length as the bed he had. Back then, they weren't manufactured. Please don't lean on the walls. And they were all handmade, and so they varied in size and shape. He just went to the store, found one that he liked that was long enough for him, and he said, I'll take that one. Now on the front wall, we do have pieces that do belong to him. The wardrobe, dresser, and desk in the corner. He used to work late hours into the night at that desk on political speeches and legal papers. Maybe he could have written his first inaugural, his Cooper Union, or even his House Divided speech there at that desk. As president-elect, he paces the floor in here, worried about what's going to happen with the nation. And he spends many nights up late into the evening and into the early morning hours, working and worrying. The neighbors said it was not uncommon to see the candlelight gleaming through those windows. This would keep Mary up if they shared the same room, but they do not. This is his room and his room alone. Her room is behind me. This is a sign of social status as well as a sign of wealth, to be able to have the separate rooms. It shows that you can afford the extra space and afford the extra furniture. She also suffers from ailments and migraines, and she is the only lady in a household full of men. And so the only way she can get any privacy is by having her own bedroom. We're going to walk through Mary's room, take a look in there. The dresser in the corner is from Lexington, Kentucky. She may have brought it with her when she moved to Springfield. The chair in front of it is also hers, and the commode in the corner. But there's not enough room to stop in Mary's room, so please venture onto the back hallway where you'll see 2 more rooms, but do not go down the stairs yet.
Well, this is Mary's room.
This is Mary's room. And the boys would have slept on they actually slept in this room with her on a trundle bed that pulled out from the main bed.
Can't believe the boy slept with her.
That is an 1800.
But this is the boys' room.
This is room outside.
I guess this is the boys' room.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They played checkers back then too.
Oh, okay. This is another room.
This is the boys. This is the boys, I guess. There's no TV. I think that mirror would have been a TV there. Also, right here.
And it changes with depending on how much light is in
I
it.
bet. I mean, yeah, because you take looking at it, and one thing focuses pulls forward, and the next one
Yes.
goes. Yeah, it's really cool.
This is the boys' room. I guess not all of the boys were able to. Okay. Gonna come. Mom, excuse me. Excuse me, Mom. This is the hired girls' room. I think this was a babysitter for them.
Yeah, she did.
So there's a chest,
Little one.
and also there was a closet for her. It's really old, I think.
Yes, that's what he did.
This was the walls. There's one room that we cannot go inside.
I like the sign on my
True. Well, that's it for Dolby Awesomeness. Bye-bye.